I saw another question about something else. Is that you, John? You have.
I just wanted to also suggest that if you, I know many cases are good, but I don't know if any of you have ever used thematic apperception tests. There are a lot of pictures in which you'll see three people sitting around a desk with one of them with a frown, and you say, describe the ethical issues. Have any of you ever used those TAP? And they're really good. They get students without words to begin to build into the situation what the ethical issues are. And I got about 24 of those that you've never seen, and you actually let you look at some of them.
That's great. I've never thought about using thematic apperception tests
They're excellent ways
for ethics.
Across.
I mean, I teach about them in advertising because
That's why I learned about it, and I use them now for ethics.
Yeah, because you try to what they try to do is they try to get at what people are thinking inside, because it's all. You might not say this about yourself, but here are, these actors with, empty thought bubbles, and they're facing this situation. What are they thinking? And so the students aren't saying, well, this is what I would be thinking. They're saying, this is what these people are thinking, but it's really getting at what their personal beliefs are. And so that's a really great tool. I've never thought of that for ethics, but that's wonderful.
In your class practices, all of you maybe, have you guys used one case study in the beginning of the semester and reviews it in the end of the semester and see what students' perspective change, or their value, their ethical thinking probably change? And if you did, then what did you learn from it?
I haven't used, this is a little bit different. There's a questionnaire, and there's an exercise that one of our students from NSU developed called My Friend Morgan. And it's a questionnaire about, do you think these things are ethical? Have you done any of these things in the past year or in your lifetime? And what you do is you give it towards the early part of the semester, and then at the end of the semester, you give them a case. And this case is about a hypothetical friend, Morgan. And Morgan has done some of these kind of shaky things, cheated on a test, and cheated on their wife, and different things like that, or spouse. And so it has a series of, non-gender related issues. And it asks you then, you are asked, you work in the same company now, and you've known Morgan all these years, would you recommend Morgan for a promotion? And I tabulate, then they ask how many say yes, how many say no, and why. And after we get the answers and we have some discussion, I give them back the data from the questionnaire that they took earlier in the semester. And what usually happens is that, more than like 50 to 75% say, no, I wouldn't recommend Morgan. And we talk about why, because it reflects on me. Because what if he screws up again? What if he steals from the company? Or she, And they have all these reasons why they're not going to recommend Morgan. And then I give them the percentages of people who have cheated, and I do them in categories, and to make it fun, I make them move around the room. Okay, 25% of you have done this. Now 50% of you have done this. And what we find out is 75% of the students have done most of the things that Morgan has done. And they would not recommend Morgan. So then they start to think about this attributional bias, and how does your view change, and what are the implications? And it's been a very powerful exercise and a lot of fun too.
Yeah, since through the semesters of the learning and conversations between the instructors and peers, their thinking process might change in different directions or somewhat. And so I wonder if you have to use some of the cases and see what's the new development. And so, yeah, that would be something interesting.
Well, Grace Ann does something that doesn't use the same case, but those dual case scenarios that you develop with, say, Jennifer Cry and Greg Roth, you present a case situation that has an ethical challenge, and then you teach about that one, but then you give them later another one that it's a different situation but has the same issue going on, and so then they're asked to apply the same thing. So in a way, it's not the same case, but it's getting at the same idea twice, and see if they've kind of improved on their thinking.
There's some research in creative problem solving that showed that if you show people an example of how you can take this principle and solve a certain kind of problem, once they see it done and you've modeled it for them, they're more likely to be able to extend and take that principle and apply it in other situations. So that's what we tried to do with learning these principles of ethics from either the examples from Daniel's life or from other business situations, and then translate them into other situations that are parallel, and to draw out the parallels.
Okay, I'm sorry, Barb, you had one, and then there's one.
I think a great segue to the question I was curious about. You've begun to do focus in the organizational behavior class. Have you heard yet from any faculty in a finance class, accounting class, a marketing class, where they say to you, I was talking about this subject, and guess what the student from your organizational behavior class brought up?
I haven't had that experience.
We just pilot tested it one semester, so we might not have enough.
Yeah. Probably after this next semester, or maybe at the end of the summer, that'll have happened. And I would think in our college, more so than other colleges, if it were going to happen, it would, because we're, and I think it's terrific, we're scattered. We don't have all the management faculty here. Like Winnie's across the hall from me, but you're international business on management. And so we interact with all the people from the different departments all the time. And so I think if that's going to happen, it's going to happen here. My opinion.
Well, and we sort of set it up because I co-taught with the finance professor the case that we had developed in finance, and it has, because almost every case has implications for more than one area, which is the beauty of it.
Now, you have a question?
Yeah, I just wondered if you have like that ethics questionnaire you give at the beginning and the Morgan study, somewhere we can download that.
Yes, I can get it for you. It's,
Yeah, we can put it
Maybe
on.
you can post it on the site.
I can put it on the password protected site, yeah, so that it's not given away to the students.
yeah, I think, yeah, we can
Yeah.
work.